Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Sarvagurubhyo Namaha. Very simple beginning. Offer respect to all teachers. And we were discussing about we were discussing the text Homa Sangraha, which is about fire rituals. And I'm going to open that. And so what part of that were you discussing? By the way, yesterday we were discussing a little bit about Agni Mukham. I showed some video of somebody doing Vichinna Agni Sandhanam, which means reestablishment of the household fire, in which the householder does his griha samskaras, and which is supposed to be kept burning throughout his life. And I showed one priest and one yajamana, one sponsor, doing that Apastamba way. And there's another video which is quite interesting, of Bodhayana method. So in the Krishna Yajurveda, there are two very prominent schools in South India. One is Apastamba, one is Bodhayana, and they're very close in how they do things. So there are actually more schools. I believe Hiranyakeshan is another school, but it's less common. But the two ones that you're going to hear about in South India, mostly of the Krishna Yajurveda, two branches, are the Apastamba and the Bodhayana. And the Bodhayana is usually like the Apastamba, but a little bit more complicated. So I found that video. That's a nice video too. I was also going through one thing I was thinking. Let me just grab the book off the shelf. While I do that, I'm going to share. You want to discuss about Agni Mukham, right?
Yes, Swami.
Okay, so we're going to go. I'm going to go to page 12 of Homa Sangraha. I'm going to share that on the screen.
Yeah, we got to Dhyanam, and then we went to the offering of the Akshata, and then we discussed about Shri Yagya Purushaya Namaha, where you said that you offer plain white rice, but you have to verify that somewhere.
Ramakrishna Mission, they print, the Ramakrishna Mission print some useful books. They print some useful books because they print books which are getting some feedback here. Maybe let's have a look at your. I'm just gonna mute everybody. If you want to say something, you can unmute. Otherwise, I get feedback. Okay. So there's 3 books. Oops. So I need to turn off my. Okay. Turn off my virtual background. There's 3 books. Yeah. So these are called Japa Vidanam, Puja Vidanam, and Homa Vidanam. So this very standard books, very simple books that are always in print by Ramakrishna Mission. And they deal with general topics of japa, puja, and homa. So I got the homa one out as a supplement to what we're looking at. So we're looking at this. We're looking at this prayoga or procedure for doing homa, which got a lot of different homas in it. And we're looking at the Agni Mukham. Agni Mukham means how to start a sacrificial fire, like that. So if we let's go to the table of contents. If we go to the table of contents, we can see this is the Homa, Krishna Yajurveda based Homa Vidanam. I'm working from the latest one that I have, which is January 22nd, 2017 edition of Rama Ramanujacharya. So here's the table of contents. Purvangam means the beginning, things that you start off with doing. Lagu Punyavachanam, Lagu means small. Punyavachanam, Punya means auspicious. Aha means day. Vachanam means to declare auspicious day. It's basically making of sacred water and chanting of auspicious mantras to start off with. Kalasha Puja, again, part of Punyavachanam, worship of the Kalasha or the Kumbha. Sometimes we hear the Gaudiya Vaishnavas call it a ghat. All means the same thing, a pot. A pot. It can be a pot, or it can be a pot with a spout, with a spouted pot also. Karika. Normally in Sanskrit, if we use the word karika, it means a spouted water pot. In Kannada, it's called a gindi. If you go to Udupi, the Madhva is called a gindis. Okay, so then we have, after that's finished, we have the Agni Mukham. Agni Mukham here, how to start the fire. Yeah? And we have actually examples of homas. The first example of homa that he gives is, he gives Mahaganapati Homa, and he gives two versions, Vaidika and Tantrika. So we can understand this if we look in the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 27th chapter. Lord Krishna talks about him being worshipped in three ways. First way is in a purely Vedic way with Veda mantras. Vaidika, that is Vaidika. Second way is a non-Vedic way. The non-Vedic way might be with mantras from Puranas, might be mantras from Agamas or Tantras. But anyhow, the mantras are primarily not from the Vedas. Tantric way means they're all non-Vedic mantras. Non-Vedic mantras means they have no swaras, there's no tones, no different tones. They're all chanted ekashruti, which means all in one sort of level, one tone. Okay, so there's Vedika, Tantrika, and then Lord Krishna says also he can be worshipped by a mixed version. Normally, the prayogas, the procedures we see are a little bit mixed because some Vedic mantras are mixed in with Tantric mantras or non-Vedic mantras. Okay, but here there's two. Now, Agni Mukham can actually be done in a few different ways, right? The setting up of the sacrificial fire can be done in a Vedic way. It can be done in a non-Vedic way. So there's many different ways. Okay. So having said that, let's go to where is it? 12.
One quick question in the Purvanga Karma. Anugya. As far as I understand, Anugya means to like worship the assembled Brahmins. Could you shed some light on that, Swami?
Okay, so start at the beginning. Purvangam. Okay. Anugya means literally, we say Bhagavad Anugya. Let's see. Let's look it up. Anugya. Okay, I can share that screen with you. There's a dictionary. Anugya means to permit or to grant, right? Permission. Anugya, permission. So we have to take permission from so many people before we do something. So first thing, Purvangam, general preliminaries, Guru Vandanam. So obviously remember the Guru, not just one Guru, remember all the Gurus. So that's a whole subject matter. Who's the Guru, which Gurus to remember, you know. Anyway, there's a simple prayer here, which is very famous. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Brahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, so if for those of you who are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or you might, in Hari Bhakti Vilas also, this mantra is given with, I think, slightly different. One part of it is slightly different, but basically the same. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. Okay, so it's a prayer to the Guru. So then Shantipat. Shantipat Shantipats are, just quickly, Shantipats are Vedic. Of course, this verse, this sloka, Jnanastup of prayer to the Guru, is just normal classical Sanskrit. It's not Vedic Sanskrit. Now we have Shantipat. Shantipat means, Pata means to recite, Shanti means peace, a recitation for bringing peace. What kind of peace do we want? We want Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We want three types of peace. Adhyatmik, Adhibautik, Adhidaivik. I think you all understand what that means. So there's this Veda mantra. This mantra also, I believe, is in Haribhakti Vilas. Badram Karne Vishwena Yama Deva, like that, right? And it goes on. Swastina Indro Vriddashavaha Swastina Pusha Vishvavedaha Swastina Nastaksho Aristanemehi Swastino Brihaspati Dadatu. Okay, so these Shantipats are usually chanted before and after sections of the Upanishads. So, like we have, if anybody's read Isa Upanishad by Srila Prabhupada, he starts off with Om Purnamada Purnamidam. That Purnamada Purnamidam, that is a Shantipat. It ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All Shantipats normally end with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Here we see he's given this Shantipat here, but he didn't exactly end with Shanti, 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 but you could. Okay, so the next thing is you have Anugya. Anugya, and just let me see. He has written it Anugya. I would write it with a long A at the end, because it's actually a feminine word. Okay, so this A should be long. Have a macron on the top. Okay, so Anugya means permission. So we're seeking permission. Normally, the seeking of permission is done with these prayers. And the idea of seeking permission is to seek permission from the people who are present. There are other rituals where we seek permission. For instance, we're praying to the Guru, we're seeking permission to do something. We're praying to Ganesha or Vishwakshena to clear obstacles. That's permission. That's the type of taking permission. We're praying to the ancestors by the use of Nandi Shraddha ritual to get permission from them to perform some ceremony. So we take permission from many people. So this Anugya normally means that the people who are there, the assembled Vaishnavas, the assembled Brahmanas, we take permission from them. So here's the mantra. It's a Vedic mantra. Comes from Taittiriya. The first part of it comes from Taittiriya Samhita. Second part of it comes from Taittiriya Brahmana. When you see here, TS means Taittiriya Samhita. When you see here, TB means Taittiriya Brahmana. When you see T, you can be sure it's Krishna Yajurveda. Why? Because Krishna Yajurveda is also called Taittiriya Shaka, Taittiriya branch. Yeah? Okay. So, Namasaraze, Namasarasaspataye, Namasakinam, Puroganam, Chakshuse, Namo Dive, Namaprativye, Saprata Sabame Gopaya, Ye Chasabhya Sada Sabha Sadaha, Tanindriya Vrata Kuru, Sarvamayurupa Upasatam. Okay, forgive my pronunciation. Okay, I can get you an audio of it if you want to hear it pronounced properly. And you can read the English translation here. The important words you can see is, for instance, Sabya, or Saba. Saba is a assembly. Okay, so sometimes when you read it, maybe you don't see so much about assemblies, but sometimes we use Vedic mantras just because there's one word in the mantra that indicates something about what the action that's to be performed. But anyway, this particular mantra is for Anugya, for Sabya, and then afterwards, there's a statement here, which is almost like a sankalpa, but it's basically a prayer to the people in the assembly. O assemble of learned brahmanas, may this gratuity which is offered at your feet, whatever it may be acceptable to you. Please grant me your sanction to perform this rite, whatever the rite is. You can you can put that in where the dash is given in the mantra, like that. And what you want to do is you want to offer something to the Brahmins, to the Vaishnavas. You can offer some small dakshina, a couple of rupees and some fruit or with two betel leaves and two betel nuts, like that, 2 different people. Okay, so this is a prayer. This prayer may change. It's like a sankalpa. You may change it, but you see, yatoktam dakshinam, kinchit dakshinam means a little bit of dakshina. Okay, you don't want to give a whole lot of dakshina to people in the beginning, because then they'll just leave. You want them to stick around, okay? So you give them a taste. You just give them a little bit of dakshina. It's like a bribe to be present. Bakshish. Yeah, it's a bribe to be present and to give their blessings for the ceremony. At the end of the ceremony, you feed them, you give them the full dakshina to their satisfaction. Just kinchit dakshinam is a little bit. Yeah? Whatever that may be. Okay, just acceptable to start with. Also, when we choose a priest in a big ceremony, it's called Acharya Ritik Varnam. Choosing of the priest, the Acharya, choosing of the Acharya and the Ritiks means Paricharakas, the people who are the assistant priests, right? When you do that, you give them a little bit of dakshin to start with. You have to give them something, but you don't give them the full dakshin until the program's over. Okay.
But yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's all. Just basically making a little offering of gratuity. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now you want to go back to Anugya. To Agnimukam.
Yes, please.
You wanted to go back to where we were yesterday, talking about.
Yeah, where we covered about Yagya Purushaya Swaha, which is, so then you said you'll have to look up to see if you offer just plain white rice. And then you said that everything else is still akshata. So I would guess most people just practically, they would just use akshata for everything.
Some people do, yeah. They don't have any, if you don't have any plain white rice sitting around.
Yeah, exactly.
And I still have to confirm that. I mean, you probably will not see a lot of people taking that detail. So.
Yeah, then again, I guess if you have the kumbha there in a plate, with some white rice, you can just grab some white rice from there and offer it, isn't it? It'll be considered purified rice anyway.
Like I said, normally the kumbha is sitting on paddy, so it would not be hulled. So, but nowadays people do use plain white rice for that.
Okay, yeah, most of the time. Mm-hmm.
You have some other questions? You want to look at the video of the Bodhina Agnimuka, Vichinagni Sandam, or not? Or you want to keep going?
No, I just wanted to ask you the questions. When we reach the number 22, Prayashchita Homam, when it gives Asmin and the name of the Homa Karmani, so each one of these are sankalpas. Do you do pranayam for each, or you just do the sankalpa and then you just do sankalpa mudra with akshata or something, or just water before you move on to offering that oblation?
It's a sankalpa, like any sankalpa. Touch water when you say it. It says touch water. It says right here, touch water.
Okay, my copy doesn't have it, unfortunately.
Okay, and, my copy says touch water.
Then, can you explain a little bit about the Shvishta Kritedam?
What we mean by just to elaborate a little bit before we move on. When we say touch water, it doesn't mean you just touch a glass of water. It means you put some water with a spoon from the Panchapatra, you put some water in the palm of the right hand and spill it into a plate in front of you or just onto the floor. Touch water. After you make a promise, you should touch water, and that means it's cross your heart and hope to die. You'll fulfill that promise. Prepare havis as for stalipaka. You know what that means?
Please elaborate. if you
Okay.
can.
Okay. Stalipaka is what? Stalipaka is a Vedic sacrifice which is performed once every 2 weeks. The Grihastha is doing his Upasana Homam. Upasana Homam is done along with the wife in the house, in the Griha Agni, not the Shrauta Agni, the Griha Agni, right? The Smarta Agni. We call it Smarta Agni or Griha Agni, right? And that is performed by the householder morning and evening. And it's an offering of simple, plain white rice, not cooked. And you just put it, there's a couple of oblations into it, and then you just keep the fire going. Morning, you keep the fire going in a ball of cow dung, in a pot, in the corner, or whatever it is. Anyway, so that's your ritual fire. In terms of, okay, so that Stalipaka is once every 2 weeks. You have to feed it more. You have to keep it alive. So you're just giving it a little bit of rice every day, but you have to give it more every 2 weeks. So that is called Stalipaka. Stalipaka, you actually give cooked rice, right? So havis means this cooked rice offering, havis. Havis, right? Let me show you here is the meaning of havis in the dictionary. An oblation or burnt offering, anything offered as an oblation into the fire, right? Okay, but specifically in this instance, havis means you get a metal pot. There's a metal pot, and you put rice and water in it, and you cook it over the homa. It's cooked on the homa. So like everything else these days, right? A lot of people don't do that. What they do is they have the wife in the kitchen cook a pot of rice and bring some cooked rice. Okay, so it says prepare havis as for Stalipaka. So if you're very, very orthodox, you will prepare this havis on the fire itself. So needless to say, that's going to take a while, right? So if you have to do that before you start the fire sacrifice, in other words, before you start the yajna proper, right? The pradhana homa, which is the next thing, right? The pradhana homa, right? Before you start the pradhana homa, if you have to cook a pot of rice on the fire, everybody's going to be sitting around waiting for the rice to cook. So, practical terms, you bring a pot of cooked rice. You bring some cooked rice, and that is used for havis. You add some ghee to it, a little bit of ghee to it. You're going to sprinkle ghee on all the sort of items that you throw into the fire or place into the fire, even the wood or whatever it is. The wood, when you dip the wood in ghee and put it in. You know, everything practically that you put in the fire, you're going to put some ghee on it, just anoint it with ghee before you put it in. So this havis also. So probably you just bring some cooked rice. That's the most practical. If you really want to do it properly or authentically or in a very orthodox manner, then you will cook the rice on the fire. That is Stalipaka's system. Okay? Next question.
So with respect to pronunciation, I just wanted to make sure about this. So like the second line of the Uttarangam mantra.
What? Okay, so we completely skip Pradhana Homa. Pradhana Homa means whatever Homa you're doing. The main Homa is in the, so everybody understands the next thing is Pradhana Homa. Just do the Homa. Then when the Homa is finished, Uttarangam. Uttarangam means the second part. So Purvangam means preliminaries. Uttarangam means ending, the ending part. So now we're going to talk about the ending part. Yeah, go ahead.
So we have Jumastanno Astu Vayagushyama Patayo Rayina Gush. It's Gush. That's how you pronounce that, right? Gush. Even though he has A-S at the end. Yeah, so it's Vayagush Syama, right?
Yeah, you can take the A out. This A can be taken out.
That's why the A was confusing me. And then Rani, Ray, Rayina Gush Swaha
Yeah, I mean,
Prajapatayedam Namah.
I prefer to use the transliteration system used by KYM, Krishna Yoga Mandiram. So if we refer to their pamphlet on, or their little booklet on chanting, on Vedic chanting, it explains about the pronunciation of Ranga. Yesterday, I think, or day before, we were talking somewhat about the pronunciation of this particular Anushwara. When Anushwara, when it's followed by an S sound, either palatal, dental, or cerebral. Right? If in Vedic, in Krishna Yajurveda Taittiriya Shaka, it's specifically chanted as gum. But in certain circumstances, it's gush. Okay. And we won't go into that rule now because it's a rule that we'll discuss if we're discussing a class on Vedic chanting. Okay?
Okay, and then Swishtakrit Homam. If you can explain a little bit about that. All I understand is that you offer just wood in the fire dipped in ghee. Is that correct? Is there a certain amount of wood you're supposed to offer?
Where are we looking? Further down?
That's just after the Mahavyariti Homa. And then it goes, he doesn't actually label it, but it ends with Agnaye Swishtakritedam Namama. So that's Om Yad Asya Karmano Tvarichinam Yad Banyunam Ihakaram. So if you could tell a little bit about the Swishtakrit Homam, please.
The Sistakrit homas are I believe, to Prajapati and Indra and Agni, and they're offered normally in Agnihotra, and we're offering from it's the ablation is performed from the southeast to northwest, and from the northwest to from the south north from the northwest to the south no the
Northwest to southeast,
southeast, northwest to southeast, right? So
and then southwest to northeast.
Yeah, I forget exactly. If you want me to get the book and tell you, I can tell you. But that's a sister kit. That's a sister kit homers, and it's done. Normally, it's done morning and evening as part of Agnihotra, no? Or with
Okay,
ghee.
so
It's just ghee. It's just ghee.
Right. This is just okay because for some reason
These are all just.
I don't know.
Well, where does he say it's not more than ghee?
No, he doesn't say. He doesn't say, and I think it's from Satkriyasara Deepika or something. That I think it somewhere we found this Swishtakrit that you offer wood. I even was talking to Lakshmana Muni about it, and
no,
he said it's wood. But I'm glad that
so.
you just said it's just ghee offered, and in that northwest to southeast direction and southwest to northeast. But as far as you remember, it's just ghee. So
it's ghee.
That's fine.
It's ghee. That I'm sure about. It's the ghee.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So now, let me just say, in the Homa Vidanam book, right, there are two Agni Mukams. There's a Vedic and a Tantric. So in the Swistakrit will be in the Vedic one.
The next one is with respect to Samshrava Homaha, where it just simply says, okay, fill the shruv with ghee and cover with the shruk, then offer a continuous stream of ghee. Does he have that wrong, or did he correct it in the new version? Is it not that you put the shruva on top of the shruk and not the shruk on top of the shruva?
Where are we looking here? In Price to the Homa.
That's still on the same page after Uttarangam. There's first Paridhi Pariharanam and then Samshrava
Paridhi
Homaha.
Pariharanam. Paridhi Pariharanam. What are paridhis?
Pieces of wood.
Yeah. Which pieces of wood?
I guess the wood that's available.
Specific ones.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
There are pieces of wood that are put around the fire, and that's because this is not a complete or a full version of Agni Mukam. In a very complete form of Agni Mukam, you put, okay, you know what Paristaranam is, right? Paristaranam. And you know what, okay, Paristaranam, you put water around, and you also put kusha. right? Why it's called kushandika is you lay kusha around, and you also
Yes.
put these paridis. There are sticks that you put in different places around the fire as borders for the fire. These are paridis. So at the end of the fire, you take those, dip them in ghee, and put them in the fire.
Yes, he
Okay.
has that on page.
Let's read this. It's what it says here. Offer the paridis into the fire after having dipped them in ghee. The middle one first, followed by the other two. Right? Two others. So you have. So you are facing east, correct? Okay. So you have one border. You have a border stick on your side. They put them standing up like this. Some people put them lying down, I believe. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be standing up or lying down. Anyway, there's a stick in front of you, and there's another two sticks on the sides, one stick on either side, right? So you take that stick in front of you, you dip it in ghee, you put it in the fire without a mantra. Then you take the one on your to your left, which because you're going around clockwise, and take that one, dip it in ghee, put it in the fire. Then you come around the opposite side of you. You're facing east, so the east side of the standila has no stick, open. So the other side has a stick. You pick it up, you dip it in the ghee, and you put it in the fire. That's called paridi pariharanam. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And
was that it? Was that the
yes.
Samshrava Homa?
Yeah, some Shrava Homa. And then
Fill
he says about
fill a shruva with ghee. Shruva is what?
Well, the smaller of the two ladles. The one that you use mainly for offering ghee.
Right. You take 4 times that and put it in the shruk, right? And then you're going to pour that. It's like vasodara. You're pouring it in a continuous stream while chanting this. Svaha vasubhyo rudebhya
Aditebhya samshrava.
samshrava. Yes.
But he
idam namama. Yeah.
But what I was asking about this isn't it that you usually put the shruva on top of the shruk? But he's saying put the shruk, fill the shruk. I'm sorry, the shruva, and then place the shruk on top of the shruva, and then pour the ghee.
Fill the shruva with ghee 4 times. Take 4 spoonfuls with the shruva.
Okay.
Put it in the other one. Put it in the shruk.
Sorry, my copy has it the other way around.
Then cover it and pour the stream of ghee. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it says in your copy, fill it. Yeah, I know. My copy doesn't have that.
No,
so it says fill the shruva.
It's not clear. It isn't clear in mine either. It says fill the shruva with ghee 4 times. Even time has got a mistake in it. But anyway, fill it 4 times. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I show you a video of the guy doing it?
Okay, but from your understanding, it's usually the shruva on top of the shruk, right? You fill the 4 times ghee.
Putting the shruva on top of the shruk, is a detail.
And you hold the.
You can put it on top, or you don't have to put it on top. But people put it on top.
And you hold the shruva with the right hand and the shruk with the left hand. Or do you hold them together in both hands and offer it like that?
Details. Somebody takes the 2 things and he puts the shruva on top of the shruk. The shruk's got 4 spoonfuls of ghee in it, right? Some people don't even count. They just fill it up. Put the shruva on top, hold it with the right hand, pour it in, continuous stream, or hold it with both hands, put it in. They're not holding it in separate hands.
Okay, and the last thing is with the when it says pranayama and parishechana.
Where?
So again, page 17.
Page 17 on me. It's after Punahuti.
After Vasurdhara Homa.
Yeah, after Vasurdhara. Okay, pranayama and parishechana. Okay.
I just wanted to, it says, Aditin Vama Ghas
The
Staha.
swaha. Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's
There's
another
two.
Sandhi.
Okay. Okay. There's two ways of doing parisechanam. You do parisechanam in the beginning. Aditanyamanyaswa, Anamatenyamanyaswa, Sarvatanyamanyaswa, Deva Savita Prasuva, Pasuva. Here it's Deva Savita Prasavi. At the end, it's chanted like this. So it's two different ways of chanting it. So in the beginning, it's like the first way, and this is the ending way.
Yeah,
And
it's just.
and you can he says use a flower dipped in the Prokshani Patra. Prokshani Patra, you have water over on your right hand side, right, for sprinkling. Yeah, and that's and you dip a flower in it and sprinkle, right? Sprinkle, first of all, you sprinkle from your right to your left across the front. Then you sprinkle from your left hand side going east, and then from your right hand side going east, and then around the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah?
So this is I was just asking if there's another Sandhi. That's all. It's Aditin Vamagastaha, right?
Yeah.
And
It's a
okay.
of course. It's not a Sunday. It's this gum thing again. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's Gush then.
Yeah.
That's because it didn't have the double G. So that's why I was thinking it wasn't Gush.
Yeah. What can I say? I think it's good.
Okay.
I have to check. I have to check for you. I'm not quite absolutely sure, but it looks to me like it's a Ranga again. It's a Gush.
Hare Krishna Swami.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Who's that?
Deva
Rishi.
Deva Savita Yes, Deva Savita Pasuva.
Deva Savita Prasuva in the beginning of the fire, when you're doing Parisechanam in the beginning, when you do Parisechanam at the end, Deva Savita Prasavihi.
Oh, okay. But when Naga Prasad in Mysore, that time he was teaching me Agni Mukam. He was saying that Prasavi is the beginning and Pasuva is at the end.
I've never seen it like that.
Oh,
Mate, we have to check it out. We have to. You say that's the way you were taught in Mysore. Okay. We will look it up.
Okay.
We will look it up.
Okay.
I can look in the Homa Vidanam right now, and I can see Homa Vidanam. Anyway, I have to look it up. But as far as I know, as far as I've always seen, Deva Savita Prasuva in the beginning, Deva Savita Prasavi, and the other changes in the end. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll look it up for you. No problem. I'll get you. That's a good question. There's two forms of Parisechanam, and why are they different? And when are they done? Yes, that's a very good question. Then what are they doing? They're doing valediction of Varuna from the Pranita Patra, pouring out of water, which is done. Usually they put water in the shruk and pour it out different directions.
Most don't have a Pranita Patra anyway. At least I don't have one, and I haven't really seen anybody using one. I know it's it's one of the things mentioned in Rami's books, but I guess you could just use any kind of water vessel or something in place of the Pranita Patra, isn't it?
There you invoke Varuna in it. They have all, normally in India, they just have all these little leaf cups, and they just invoke different people. They put a kurcha on the side there for Brahma, and there's a couple of leaf cups for the Pranita Patra, for the Prokshani Patra, whatever. But if you want to see a proper Agni Mukam Vedic style, then they're going to start off with all the items upside down on kushagrass beds strewn on the northern side of the fire, and then they're going to wash each one of them, and they're going to install each one of them, and they're going to pour the ghee into it, and whatever they're going to do, all that sort of stuff, in a proper full, Vedic Agni Homa, Agni Mukam. But people hardly do all these things these days. I really think this subject needs to be. I need to do a full class on it, and I need to brush up on it too, and explain why.
Om Brahmajnanam Pradhamam Purastade Visimadasurjobhenavaha Saputriya Umamasavita Sadascha Jodhimadascha Vivaha Nage Suparnamupajatpadandagam Pradavenando Abhyajakshatatva Hiranyapaksham Varanasya Dodam Japasya Jodo Sagunam Puranyo Aptyaya Sudame Sute Viswadasomamrittino Bhavavajasya Sangade Yo Rudro Agno Yo Apsuya Vodhade Yo Rudro Viswa Bhuvana Vivesatasmai Rudra Janamo Astu Adhiproksha Idam Vetturuvajakrame Tredhanita Devado Sapodavasya Bhagam Sure Indram Visva Avivradam Samudravyaja Sangina Rathidamagam Rathinam Bhajanagam Satpatim Patim Sakalam Nairata Nirasya Devasyatva Saviduprasave Ashwinor Oshto Rastabhya Purve Paristranami Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Dakshine Paristranami.
You see what they did? You see the in Satriya Sar you have a Reka Stapanam, right? There's some lines to draw, yeah? In Satriya Sar, yeah?
Yes.
So here, this is the way they do it in Krishna Yajurveda, right? The first line here, second line here. You're sitting in the west, facing east. So you make one line here, then another line here, then another line here, and how you do it with two kushagrass blades, right? The root end of the kushagrass, you're doing this. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, right? And then you're doing from right to left, right? From south to north, first of all, from west to east, and from south to north, you're making 3 more lines. So you might have some dirt or some, something in the bottom of the thing. And even if you don't have any in the bottom, you're making these 3 lines, okay? So now here, he's just given very simple mantras here for saying when you make those lines. Om Brahmane Namaha, Om Yamaya Namaha, Om Samaya Namaha, Om Rudra. I don't know if that's correct, Rudra. I'll have to look that up. Should be not Rudra, should be Rudraya. Anyway, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Indraya Namaha. Okay? So, but you hear they have a full Vedic mantra. The Bodhayana Shaka, they have a full Vedic mantra for each one. So see here. Doing the
Sakalam Nairata Nirasya. Devasyatva Saviduprasave Ashwinor Bhagubhya Oshto Rastabhya Purve Paristranami Om.
What's he doing now? Haristaranam. Haristaranam means placing the kusha around the fire.
Bhurbhuvassuvaha Dakshine Paristranami Daknim Pradist.
In the south.
First of all, in the east, in the south, in the west. And if you lay
down Dachinarambamalikye Idi Udiche Burbuvasuro Idyaknim Praditapya.
You see the patras he has there on the side?
Pragodischa Praktojam Nidhaya.
You put in the water in the east. There's a pot in the east and you pour water in it. Now the wife is going to go. The wife's going to go and bring the fire. She's wearing muddy socks. 9-yard, sorry. Yep. So she's going to go. He wants her to go round. She just has to come from the kitchen.
अग्निमिद्वा प्रागाग्रैः उदकग्रैश्च दर्भेरग्निं परिसृणामि भूर्भुवस्वात्
अग्निं प्रतिष्ठाप्य
अभोक्षणदोजशेषं प्रागुदिच्छ.
So Bhurbhavasvaha Agni Pratistapya, establish the fire.
प्राक्तोजं निधाय
प्राक्तोयं निधाय
अग्निमिद्वा
ओम भूः ओम भुवः नाल समिति भूः
ओम
भुवः ओम सुवः ओम भूर्भुवः सुवः
अग्निमिद्वा प्रागाग्रैः उदकैग्रैश्च दर्भारग्निं परिसृणाति.
देवस्य त्वा सविदुःप्रसवे अश्विनोर्भागुभ्यां ओष्ठोगस्ताभ्यां पूर्वे परिसृणामि ओम भूर्भुवः सुवः दक्षिणे परिसृणामि अग्नाय उद्वयं तमसस्परिपश्यन्दो ज्योतिरुत्तरम् देवं देवक्त्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् पश्चिमे परिसृणामि
यज्ञाजागिवीददेघ्नानोऽप्यदाददे सस्यपर्गिषे
उत्तरे परिसृणामि
देशो सञ्जलं न्यच्च पात्राणि साधयति.
எப்படி போடணும்ன்றத போட்டுருக்கும் பாருங்க.
दक्षिणतः उत्तरदच्च प्रागाग्रैः दक्षिणानुत्तरात् उत्तरान् अधरान् कृत्वा उत्तरेणाग्निं दर्भान् संस्थीर्य
So they putting Dharma down there.
न्याच्च पात्राणि साधयन्ति दर्वीमाज्यस्थालीं प्रोक्षणीं
धर्वीं ஓடாதீங்கன்னு அதுதான் சொன்னேன். धर्वीं आज्यस्थालीं प्रोक्षणीं प्रणीता
इतर दर्वीं.
He just mentioned there's the Darvi, which is one of the spoons, Prokshani, Pranita, the Ajya, the ghee, the Prokshani, Pranita.
Itara Dharvi Idmanjasadhajitva. Oh, this is not good.
So they're using mango leaves as spoons.
Tamava Prachinnagrohu Darbohu Pradeshamatra Pavitro Kritva.
Pradeshamatre Pavitram Kritva. Pradeshamatram na umbu dangulam. Pradeshamatre Pavitri Kritya.
Pradeshamatram Pavitri Kritva means he's going to make a pavitra knot in a piece of two pieces of kusha of the length of one pradesh, which is the span of the hand.
Trinam Khattam Vandarya
Antardhata
Chinnandi.
அதாவது நகத்தினால அதை கட் பண்ணப்படாதுங்கிறா.
Not with your, can't cut it with your fingernails.
Numurjya Adviranu Murjya Sapavitrena Panina Patrani Samsrutya
Sapavitrena Patrani Samsprishya.
So he's touching. They're touching with the pavitra, touching all the patras and the darvis, the spoons.
Prokshani
Patram mataya
प्रोक्षणी पात्रमाधाय
अपरेणाग्निं निधाय
अपरेण अग्निं निधाय सपवित्रे तस्मिन्
अक्षतैः सह अपआसिच्य मात्राण्यस्तानानि कृत्वा सपवित्रेण पाणिना सर्पाभिरभिः त्रिः प्रोक्ष्य
जलத்தை எடுத்து இப்படி தெளிக்கணும்.
त्रिः प्रोक्ष्य
सपवित्रेण पात्राणि त्रिः प्रोक्ष्य दर्भणीनाல தெளிச்சணும். प्रोक्ष्य
प्रोक्षणी पात्रं दक्षिणतो निधाय
क्षणीपात्रं दक्षिणतो निधाय
आज्यं विलाप्य अपरेणाग्निं पवित्रान्नर्गिदाय आज्यस्थाल्याम् आज्यं निरूप्य
அதாவது நெய் பாத்திரத்துக்குள்ள இந்த தர்பையை வச்சுண்டு நெய்யை விட சொல்லிருக்கு.
उदिचोक्कारान् ओंकारान् निरूप्य देस्वाज्यमधिसृत्य
அதாவது உதிச்சோங்காரன்னா அக்னி கடியில அக்னி உருக்கிறதுக்காக அந்த நெய் எடுத்துக்கணும், கீழே வச்சுக்கணும். साधु उदीचोंकारान् निरोह्य
देस्वाज्यम् अधिसृत्य ज्वलता त्रिणेन अवदोद्य
ज्वलता
द्वै दर्भाग्रैः प्रचित्यै प्रक्षाल्य प्रत्यस्य
अग्निलगा कुर्तिंड त्रिपर्यग्निं हुत्वा
त्रिपर्यग्निं हृत्वा उदगुद्वास्यम् अग्ने
अंगारान् प्रत्युह्य
अग्नेः पश्चात् अप्येषु आज्यस्थालीं निधाय
எடுத்து ஒரு தடவை சுத்திட்டு தர்பேஷு நிதாய தர்பத்து மேல பశ్చాத் தர்பேஷு சாதயித்வா
दर्भेषु आज्यस्थालीं निधाय उदगग्राभ्यां पवित्राभ्यां पुनराकारम् आज्यं स्तृभ्य पवित्रग्रन्थिं विसृज्य
அந்த கட்டளை மேல பிடிச்சுன்னு போக வர கிழக்கு மேல.
Oh, he's going to now do the Trirupurya.
पवित्रग्रन्थिं विसर्ज्य
पवित्रग्रन्थिं विसृज्य
प्रागग्रमग्नौ प्रकृत्य
प्रागग्रमग्नौ प्रागग्रमग्नौ प्रहरति
येन जुहोति दर्वी इददर्वीञ्च तदग्नो प्रतिदप्य
அதாவது இதர தர்விங்கிறது இது இடது கையில வச்சுக்கணும்.
दर्पे संसृत्य
அக்னியில காய்ச்சணும். दर्भत्राल मेळु गिळमा तोडा
दर्पे स्मृत्य पुनः प्रतिदप्य प्रोक्ष्य.
Actually, when you touch it with the kusha, you're supposed to touch the top, with the kusha, you're supposed to touch the top of the spoon with the top of the kusha, the bottom of the spoon with the bottom of the kusha, the middle of the spoon with the middle of the kusha. But he just did it, you know, in a sort of a way, certain way. Anyway,
निगाद दर्पानद्भिः संस्पृत्य अग्नौ प्रकरति अग्निं परिसिञ्चति.
நியாயமா அங்கதான் வைக்கணும்.
put the two spoons on one on either side of the ghee.
अग्निं परिषिञ्चति
ओम
अदितेन मन्यस्वः दक्षिणतः प्राचीनं Anumatena Manyaswa
Saraswatena Manyaswa
Pachadudichan Saraswatena Manyaswa Uttaradaha Prajinam Deva Savida Prasava Saman
Prasuva, Deva Savita Prasuva, not Prasavi.
Samandam Paridhitya
Sadurgrihidam Ajam Grihitva
இதனால 4 தடவை நெய் எடுத்துக்கணும். கடுதலையை வச்சுக்கோ.
See how he bends the stem of the leaf around so that when the person tries to lift ghee with that spoon, it doesn't pour back on him. So he bends the back of the spoon, back of the leaf, so the leaf becomes like a shovel that he can put a little ghee into the fire.
இதனால 4 சொட்டு நெய் எடுத்து அதில் விட்டுக்கோ. ரிகி முத்திரை மாதிரி.
சதுர்கிரீஹிதம் ஆஜ்யம் கிரஹித்வா
4 சொட்டு எடுத்துக்கோங்க. சதுர்கிரஹீதம் கிரஹித்வா.
So he's gonna. This is the same thing what Govindacharya was talking about. He's going to take 4 spoons. In the right hand, he's got the shruva, the darvi or the sacrificial spoon. In the right hand is the shruva, the small one. He's going to take 4 spoonfuls of that and put it in the other one and then offer it into the fire. Let's see.
Vyakriti homam garishye bhorgovasva swaha prajapataya idam namama punachadurgrihidam.
Even though that spoon, the shruk, is on the left side, he transferred it to his right hand and offered it in with the right hand.
Grihitva upavasasthane ayachagomam harishye
Again, he's filling up the shruk with spoonfuls, 4 spoonfuls from the shruva.
Aya asi aya manasa dhritam ayano dheya vedajagaswa agnaye ayasajitam namama
punarchadurgriham grihitva
punarchadurgrihitam grihitva
aneka kala sayam prataro upasana buddhikarana.
That's a very clear one. That's why I thought I'd show you that. Difficult to hear you because the mantras are very loud. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so we go over it again sometime and in more detail. But remember, that was a Bodhayana Shak. That was Bodhayana, but it's very similar to. It's almost exactly the same as Apastamba. So that's why I wanted to show it to you. Yeah, Vedic Shrauta, Vedic Agnimukham, and Tantric Agnimukham. Now, for Gaudiya Vaishnavas in Hari Bhakti Vilas, the Agnimukham is Tantric, is Vaishnava, so it's not as complicated as all that.
Yeah, Swami, Naga Swami in Mysore, same procedure, but the whole thing is that I cannot follow the mantras, but I sometimes do the steps, but the mantras is very difficult for me now.
Yeah, the thing is, these guys are chanting mantras, but they're also chanting in between the mantras. They're also chanting the instructions, what they're doing. So when he says nanaka something, it means don't do it with your nails of your hand, and he's saying, and Triya Puriya means 3 times pass the thing through the ghee, or pass the thing through the water 3 times. So the way people learn in the Gurukulas is they learn the mantras, the Vedic mantras, but they also learn the instructions off by heart. So when they're doing it, they say the instructions as they're doing it as well. Most people. If they've learned in a traditional way, yeah? So, I can maybe look to writing all those things out if I find them.
Jai.
If I find it in the same way, if I find a video and I find a prayoga which matches the video, then I'll write it out. So I think we need to have a class on Agni Mukham, no? Yeah?
I think so. It's always good.
Yeah. But the thing is, there are different Agni Mukhams, and probably most people are going to do, so the point is to show, normally, like I said to my wife yesterday, normally what I'm doing is I'm showing a very complicated way to do something, and people get the idea of the full thing, and then I'm scaling it down. And you know, you got to scale it down, because these people are, you know, you can take half an hour, an hour to just start the fire. Then how much more time do you have for the ceremony, for the main ceremony? So you have to everything has to be commensurate with your time. So to do a very complicated Agni Mukham is probably not practical in most ceremonies. So it's important to, certain things are more important than others. Obviously, placing the fire is important. You know, doing paristaranam is important. You know, you may or may not have a lot of kusha that you can lay out as to put the kusha around. You may or may not have all these other patras that you put out, you know, or Brahma sitting there worshipping Brahma. That you may or may not have all those things. And the point is, you have to do this full Agni Mukham. This is a Vedic Agni Mukham. So if you're doing a Vedic ceremony, you're supposed to do it. But if you're not doing a Vedic ceremony, why would you do it? Some priests, they do it no matter what. You'll see Raman Bhatta and some other people when they're doing a Pancharatric Homa or something like that, and they'll do a Vedic Agni Mukham. And you ask why? It's because they know one Agni Mukham. They know one form of Agni Mukham which they use, and it's the same, and they just do it. So it's mixed. So they mixed it, like that book Pratistavidi that I followed for the installation. Right, it has a lot of Vedic things mixed in with it. It's not purely Pancharatric. It's not purely agamic. Whereas the other book, Padma Tantra Prayoga, is more agamic. It's more purely agamic. So you can do it in different ways. Even the Agni Mukham. So that's why I said the Homa Vidanam, the book Homa Vidanam has got two different Agni Mukhams, Vedic and Tantric.
Is that thing about the wife bringing the fire also done in Upper Stamba?
It depends on what kind of fire we're talking about. We're talking about Griha Agni usually is kept, you know, where people are taking fire from the kitchen. So the wife goes and brings fire from the kitchen. You know?
Because they just did it ceremoniously there, isn't it?
Yeah,
just to make it look like she's bringing the fire. So they gave her the fire, made her walk around, and then took the fire and placed it there. So
sure.
So I guess we can do it ceremoniously.
Like I said, people are cooking the rice in the pressure cooker in the kitchen and then bringing it rather than cooking it on the fire in the Stalipaka method, you know. Or the other thing is, that there are different types of fires too. The Shraut Agni they make with it's a Bal Agni. They call it a Bal Agni. They make it by churning fire, you know, with the Arnimanta. Yeah. But then they churn it and then they put it in the Garhapatya, which is the round kunda first, and then from the round kunda they light the Dakshinagni, and from the Dakshinagni, or from the round kunda they light the Dakshinagni, and then they light the bow-shaped one, or the moon-shaped, crescent-shaped one, and then they light the square one, the Ahavaniya, which is in the east, the square one. These are three Vedic fires that are needed when you're doing, if you're doing Agnihotra, or you're doing Agnihotra and Ishti, but the other fires, the Griha fire is what you're using for Upasana and Stalipaka. So different fires for different reasons. But then mostly we're not doing these things. We're not doing Shrauta ceremonies at all. hardly anybody's doing upasana, hardly anybody's doing Agnihotra. So what people are doing is they're doing mostly agamic rituals, agamic homas, tantric homas. So then why do all the Vedic Agni Mukam if you're just doing a tantric homa? If somebody says to you, I want to do Sudarshana homa, it has nothing to do with it's not Vedic, it's tantric, agamic. So do a simple tantric Agni Mukam. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking of which one of the Agni Mukams to learn. So I saw that in Rami's book in the Pancharatra Prayog, he says that you can do the Vedic one for the Pancharatra Homa also. So that's why I thought, okay, let me just learn the Vedic one. At least I could learn one by heart, and then I could use that for anything. Just like you're saying there, that they mix it.
That's what all the priests do in India. They know because they know they have to do a wedding. They have to do Vedic samskars. So they learn the Vedic Agni Mukam, and then once they've learned one, they just use that when they do a Pancharatric thing.
Because it will get confusing.
The Pancharatric one will be easier.
Yeah, it is. There's the Pancharatric one. But then again, if you have to do a Vedic ceremony, I guess you can use the Pancharatric Agni Mukam too. It doesn't matter.
For a Vedic ceremony?
Yeah. You see what I mean? But if you learn the Vedic, then you can use it for the Pancharatric. You could use it for the Puranic. But if you're doing it the other way around, say you're doing a Vedic samskara, then you don't want to use the Pancharatric Agni Mukam.
No, I've never seen anybody do that. I've never seen anybody do it the other way around.
Exactly. So it's not easy to learn like 3 different Agni Mukams by, so I was just thinking, well, learn one very well, and then you can use that for everything. And I guess the Vedic is the one that could apply for all.
But strictly speaking, if we're doing a Vedic ceremony according to a particular branch of the Veda and a particular sutra, the Agni Mukam should be from that section from that branch.
Agreed. And that's why if we're doing from Rami's Purva Prayog for Vedic samskaras, then naturally we'll be doing the Apastamba anyway. So just learn Apastamba for everything and just do like that.
What I'm saying is he hasn't given the full details of it.
I agreed. That's what always the problem. We never know because we can't see, and that's why we have to clarify because it doesn't give the full explanation.
I have a book, Apastamba Griya Sutra, with commentaries by Karpardi Swami and Sudarshanacharya or something like that, which is followed. So I have a book, Purva Prayoga. I have a Purva Prayoga which gives I have a Sri Vaisnava Purva Prayoga, right? Apastambiya Purva Prayoga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this one is done by a Vadagalai Sri Vaishnava, and it mentions some things from the commentaries of Sudarshanacharya and Kapardi. Kapardi Karika is what people follow, and that gives the more details. But so far, I haven't found anybody who wants to go into the details with me of Kapadi Karika. And I have two copies of Kapadi Karika, his Karika, Kapadi Swami, on this, the commentary on Apastamba, Kriya Sutra. I have 2 copies, one in Telugu script and one in Grunta script, which I have not yet had time to transliterate, let alone go through the details with somebody. So it's very rare. It's rare that people know the details of this.
Yeah, exactly, because you say it's only a small part of the real ceremony. So you just have to learn one well and then just apply that, because the main ceremony is whatever yagya you're doing, Ganapati Homa or whatever type of Homa, even Sudarshana Homa. So it just once you learn the steps, then you can just easily go through it. So that's why maybe something more detailed wouldn't even be applicable for us, because it will take too long maybe.
Yeah. So my recommendation is when you're learning, cut the Agni Mukam to a complete, minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the fire, put it in there, do parisechanam with the water, and start your ceremony.
Okay.
Simple. But, if you want to do these preliminary steps, you have to practice and make it quick, because people are sitting there waiting for you to start the main homa.
Yeah, it gets quick once you know the steps, definitely.
Sure.
Once you remember the steps.